Welcome to the Culinary Treasure Podcast. I'm Stephen Shomler, host. Today finds us in the Oregon coast once again. I absolutely love the Oregon coast. Today we are at Rockaway Beach. To be honest, I'm not sure you want to listen to this podcast because if you do and you are anywhere near Rockaway Beach, you will want to come to the Beach Bakeshop. I have eaten way too many of their culinary delights, be it sweet or savory, so be forewarned. But James and Maxine Schroeder, it's a delight to have you on the podcast.
Thank you.
You have a great story and I'm looking forward to telling it. But I do want to thank the good folks at Visit Rockaway Beach. Visit rockawaybeach.org for sponsoring this podcast. There's a lot of fun things to do in Rockaway. There's great places to stay. But for me, on the Culinary Treasure Podcast, there's some wonderful things to eat. But question I ask all my guests on all my podcasts, James, where were you born?
I was actually born in Twin Falls, Idaho.
And where'd you go to high school?
In Buell, Idaho, small town.
And Maxine, where were you born?
I was born in Nampa, Idaho.
And where did you go to high school?
At Valley View High School.
Okay, now you guys have a fun story where you met. So you kind of knew each other a little bit, but then you were both at fairgrounds, not for a fair, but for different kinds of interesting events. James, you were there buying a bull.
Yep, we had cows and needed a bull.
Okay, and Maxine, you were at a bean festival.
Yes.
The celebration of the almighty bean. Why were you at a bean festival?
My roommate at the time, her mom was making a bean soup, and she really wanted to take some friends and go and support her mom. And so we all went to the festival, which was held at the county fairgrounds.
And that was, you guys really connected. And shortly after that had a first date. I I don't know. I'm pretty, let people believe whatever they want, but I kind of think maybe there's more going on. Some people say the universe, some people say the good Lord, whatever. I think maybe fate, the universe brought you both to those weird events. You could connect, maybe. And then you had an amazing first date. James, what kind of first date did you cook up?
We actually decided to go into the Sawtooth Mountains and do night cross-country skiing.
A moonlit cross-country ski. And you were down with this, Maxine.
Yeah.
You thought it was a good idea.
Sure.
That is fun. I like that. Okay. So at some point, you guys left Idaho. You ended up living in Portland. And then in 2014, you bought a vacation home here in Rockaway Beach.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm. Now, James, Rockaway Beach is near and dear to your heart. How young were you when your family first started coming from Idaho to vacation? And where did you guys go to?
So we actually started coming to the coast when I was about 2. It was a big event, like 6 or 7 families would come. We'd stay at different parts of the coast. All the way up to Ilwaco down to Winchester Bay, down in kind of central southern Oregon.
Yep.
And so a lot of my fondest memories as a child are coming over for those annual trips. And
then as you kind of merged life with James, then you went on some of those family trips to the Oregon coast.
Yeah, we actually ended up going with my brother and his family. And so then I got to see start to see the Oregon coast because I hadn't come to the Oregon coast when I was growing up.
And so it made sense. If you're going to buy a vacation home, you like the Oregon coast. And why Rockaway Beach?
We had actually spent a good amount of time here over the years and just fell in love with the small town. Loved that it had both lake as well as ocean, and you could walk everywhere. So we could buy a house and not drive and walk around. So yeah, we love it here.
Okay, and then you guys are a little crazy, at least in my head, probably in a good way. So in 2000, what year did you buy the Beach Bakeshop?
August of 2020.
August of 2020. Now, the Beach Bakeshop started, Matt and Julie started it in 2015.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So you bought an existing bake shop.
That's
which
correct.
Sounds kind of crazy because I'm not buying no bake shop. But I think the story actually makes sense. So you both have a medical background and you moved here to, they got a second home in Rockaway Beach. And around 2007, you started thinking maybe we could have a business here in Rockaway Beach and eventually medicine. Is that right?
That's right.
So you model it over, you think about it for about 3 years, and then you hear that the Beach Bake Shop's for sale. And you think, well, we're going to buy a bake shop and just bake stuff.
It's fun, right?
Yes.
And on the surface, it sounds like there's no way we're missing something, but we are. So you had a grandma and grandpa that had something pretty incredible going on that kind of normalized having a bakery in the family. Tell me about them.
Yeah. So my grandparents immigrated from Germany, and their parents my grandfather's dad owned a bakery and started one in Illinois. And so that was what they did for a living. And then me growing up, I grew up with my grandfather. My grandfather passed away. So my grandmother taught me how to bake, and I spent lots of time with her as a kid doing that. So,
and you were just cooking at an early age.
Yeah, I started like cooking on the stovetop at like 2 or 3, and my parents love showing videos and pictures of that. So,
and then you baked at home ever before you had a bake shop. Now you didn't necessarily bake the things that are here, but you bake some pretty cool stuff at home.
Yeah, I still try to carry on a lot of the German traditions and, bake a Christmas Stollen and, Danish rolls and other things. So.
Yeah, I want that Stollen. I mean, you should like just bake one and auction it off every year here. It's like to the highest bidder. I think that'd be fun. And Maxine, your family was cooking and baking all hands on deck. So it was normal in your world, cooking and baking. It didn't seem crazy to you. Hey, let's buy a bakery.
No, it was reasonable. I mean, it's something I enjoy doing. And so you should do what you like to do.
There you go. Okay. I think that's wonderful.
Make it your work.
That's right. And then, so did they give you like the secret recipe book when you bought the place?
Yeah, we had a great time transitioning with Matt and Julie. They passed over all their recipes, spent like 2 weeks with us, teaching us how they were doing things. And it wasn't just us. I mean, a lot of our family members help out here. So they trained all of us. So yeah, it was fun.
So how has the community responded to the transition? Now, you've had it for a couple years now. And people up in arms, are they happy that you're here? How does the community respond?
Yeah, I mean, we've had just incredible community support. I think we kept everything that Matt and Julie were doing, and we've only added things.
You've added some, they had good stuff, no doubt about it.
Yep.
But then you've added some amazing things, some things we shouldn't even talk about to burden people with the curse that they're going to have to come eat this stuff. But I bet, so it's interesting. You're open, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you're open 4 days a week, but you work 5 days a week because Thursdays you're in here prepping.
That's right.
Correct.
And so 5 days a week. So even though you're only open 4, you're working 5 days a week because you make a lot of the things that are sold here.
We make everything that is sold here.
Yeah, that's it. I was purposely misleading that. But yeah, you make all of the Danishes and the blueberry biscones and the sand dollar hand pies and the brownies and the macaroons and the banana bread and everything.
Everything. Yeah.
The clam, which is really good clam chowder. And it's not Cisco. You don't like just slice open a bag and dump it in a bowl. You actually make it.
That's right.
Yeah. And then a lot of things, which I have a great appreciation for given some of the people in my family, but there's a lot of gluten-free options here.
Correct. Yes. So we try to accommodate people and their needs. And usually if people make requests, then we certainly try to meet those requests if we can.
Yeah. As long as you don't give me like a gluten-free, fat-free, sugar-free pastry, then I'm okay. I need something that's bad for me, just a little something. Like I do own happinessismeltedbutter.com. So I've never done anything with it, but I literally own that. Because it's wonderful. That's fun. So what did it feel like that first week? So Matt and Julie hung out for a couple of days and then they took off. And then after a week or so, it's just you guys and people are coming in and you have a business that's like jumping out of this. How did that feel?
It was both like overwhelming and it was just so fun. Like just seeing everybody be so excited about us being here and coming through and all of us working together. I mean, we had like 7 members of our family working here. So yeah, what a unique experience. And
Maxine, is it kind of surreal to see people enjoying stuff you baked?
Yeah, it is in a sense.
And it's kind of fulfilling at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's enjoyable that people enjoy and what you prepare. And so, yeah, it's a good feeling. Yeah,
I see a lot of corollaries between artists and people that cook, chefs and bakers, because, you make something and then people appreciate it. The only difference is if if you're a brewer, a distiller or a winemaker or a baker or a chef, you make it and then someone consumes it, which is like, I would rather consume from look at a painting. Andy, if you can make edible paintings, that's fine. I mean, art's great, but I'd rather have a bowl of soup. Soup is magical. Do you know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because soup to me is alchemy. Because if you make it wrong, it's just flavored hot water and it doesn't taste like soup. But then you do it right. And all of a sudden you go from hot water to flavored hot water to soup. That to me, the alchemy of cooking, it just rivets me. I absolutely love it. Okay. Some of your By the way, I mentioned Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I mentioned, how people responded. I think if you would do it, if you would work 7 days a week, which I would not advise, it's not good for your health, but if you would, there would be people here all the time because people absolutely love this place. I know I was here eating way too many things, taking photos. People kept coming in, interrupting my photos and bothering me. But the community really does love you. And a lot of places on the Oregon coast are closed on Mondays, up and down the Oregon coast. And I've learned the hard way. If I'm going to come, depending on what kind of work I'm doing, maybe I'll leave on Sunday. Maybe I'll get here on Tuesday. But you guys are open on Monday, and I'm sure there's a lot of people, the locals in Rockaway, probably really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Actually, that's who we see the most on Mondays are people who live here. It's a chance for them to come in when it isn't as crowded, and yeah, it's a nice little slower paced day.
All right, let's talk through some of the menu items. So some of the things you added that I absolutely love, that I've eaten and enjoyed and think is great, is you have a savory breakfast menu. And one of these things is a breakfast sand dollar. Now, what is a breakfast sand dollar?
So a breakfast sand dollar is something that utilizes the pie crust dough that we make for our sweet sand dollars. And we make it into a breakfast. So it has like a meat, an egg, and a cheese. Very popular. Usually sell out pretty early in the morning.
And those are so good. I absolutely love them. And they're so cute because they look like sand dollars. I don't know how you pull that off baking wise. That's a secret. I don't want to lose the magic. It's probably something pretty simple, but I am enchanted by it. And then there's a couple things I just don't think we should talk about to protect society, but we'll talk. There's two of them really. One of them is what the heck? I've had it. It's like flaky and amazing and wonderful. What is a bacon cheddar biscone? Am I even saying it right?
Well, we say biscone.
A biscone, okay.
So it's a mix between a biscuit and a scone. So you're going to get a softer, moister texture. And then, we've got the bacon cheddar. So obviously we have bacon cheddar in that one. And then the other one's just a blueberry. But it's a good in-between kind of texture between those. Yeah, let's stick on the bacon cheddar. We'll get to the evil blueberry in a second. But the bacon cheddar, it is, I thought it was perfect. I had it. I had butter on it, because it's just butter, of course. And it was wonderful. But then I noticed, oh, wait, they put gravy on it. Yes. And you make your own gravy. We do. Yes. And then you put gravy on it. And that took it to a whole nother level. It's a sausage gravy. Oh, yeah, it's a sausage gravy at that. I could eat I think I could eat 2 or 3 of them just at one setting because they're that good. And I took pictures, halfway through I ate half of it and the layers of it just looks so beautiful inside. I mean, I'm serious. Those are two that, and then the other dangerous thing we shouldn't talk about, but we will, I guess we have to, is you have on the menu, you lie on the menu. It says blueberry biscone, or as I like to say, biscone. It's the more elevated version. But when it's in the counter, it's buttermilk. Uh-huh. And that thing is ridiculous. Was that on the menu, or did you guys come up with that? No, it was one of the items that the previous owners had. So, but they are evil people, man. We can blame them then. Actually, family value, have someone to blame. Because that blueberry buttermilk, that is really, really good. And I tend to like savory things more at this point in my journey. Like when I was in my 20s, I wanted like a chocolate cookie before bed. Now, maybe I have a pickle before bed. And so, of course, I love the blueberry bacon, with gravy. Oh, that's perfect. But I didn't think how much I would love the blueberry buttermilk biscone. That thing is ridiculous. They're very good. Very popular. Okay, and then you do savory sand dollars. So what the heck are those? Yeah, for your lunch menu? We started offering lunch. We have sandwiches and the clam chowder, but there were a lot of people that were walking around looking for something savory for lunch. So we decided to add those, and we do a couple of different flavors. And yeah, we just started them last year, and they've been really popular. And so what are some of the things that come in the savory sand dollars? So we do 4 different kinds. We have a vegetarian option, so a veggie one. Comes with ricotta, spinach, artichoke, which people really like. There's a chicken, bacon parmesan, a turkey provolone pesto, and then we do a pizza one. Yeah, the pizza one is one of the couple things that made me grumpy the day I was here because you didn't have those. Those were sold out already. I came later in the day. And the other thing you didn't have any of that just enchants me, I get to go on my hot dog rant. Oh, yeah. But what I think I know, but what is a Rockaway Beach wiener wrap? It's
exactly what it is. Sounds like it's a wiener that is wrapped in pastry dough and then cooked. And
Now, as a kid, did you ever have those things, the hot dogs, or you get the whatever, you pop the package open a dough and you wrap it up, and pigs in a blanket.
Pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, and then some mustard or ketchup with that as a kid. I love those, and what I like to say is, I was inspired to have the life I now partially by Anthony Bourdain, may he rest in peace, and he loved hot dogs, and so I eat hot dogs in honor of him, but I just love them. And one of my guilty pleasures is a 7-Eleven hot dog or a bad gas station hot dog. My wife finally told me, like, every hot dog you eat takes 7 minutes off your life. And she tried to sell me as like that was true. And I thought, well, she's in the medical field too, like you guys, and maybe this is true. So I love hot dogs. I really do. It's kind of naughty, probably not good for me. There's been a couple times at dive bars where I've been told I can't order because it's just too dangerous. It probably will kill me. So I want to come back sometime and get your Rockaway Beach wiener wrap. I bet it's just got all the goodness. I'm sure it's a great hot dog, given everything else you do. And then do you have mustard that I can dip it in?
I actually don't have mustard.
We have mustard packets.
Oh, that's right. We do.
We usually offer either you can have some ketchup packets or mustard.
Yeah, and I think mustard is the way to go. I mean, I don't care if people like ketchup on their hot dogs, but I want my, pigs in a blanket with mustard. I just, that is really good. Okay, and then this, I don't know if you can see this photo, but this is your sand dollar mixed berry hand pie. And I'm going to put pictures up. If you go to culinary-treasure-podcast.com and find this article, there'll be this picture, because this next picture is showing, look at the layers in that. Look at that. And I was forced to eat just one of those. I wanted like 3. How do you pull off that lamination? Really, it's pretty incredible. It's flaky, yet it holds together. It doesn't just crumble. Where did you learn this? Did you go to like the Hogwarts School of Baking?
No, it's just the nature of your pie crust dough. So, I mean, that's most of it.
So it's pie crust dough and you make it into a hand pie. Okay, that's sneaky. That's smart, because it is really phenomenal. And then this cherry Danish. Now you make a couple different Danishes. You do cherry, you do blueberry, depending on season. Do you ever do peach?
We have done apricot. I haven't done peach.
Oh, apricot sounds even better.
But yeah, we usually have raspberry, strawberry, cream cheese, lemon. Yeah, a lot of them.
But this cherry one I had, that's a dollop of cream cheese in the middle.
That's correct, yeah.
Which is, I love, love, love cream cheese. And when you can get a good cream cheese Danish, I think that's fantastic. But do you do it just cream cheese Danish with no fruit?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I could even do better. So you've done apricot. And you've done, did I hear raspberry? Now how about like blackberry?
We have, yeah. We've done blackberry.
And how about Marionberry?
I mean, it's a type of blackberry, yeah.
Do you prefer hazelnuts or filberts? I'm just kidding. I'm just being naughty. Okay, and then you guys think that the cinnamon rolls are pretty amazing.
Yeah, I love our cinnamon rolls. That's my hardest thing to stay away from.
Now, I take umbrage with your cinnamon rolls because you have a sugar glaze, not a cream cheese glaze. Is that right?
That is right.
I do love me some cream cheese. That's why you eat carrot cake, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
That's if you want me to eat zucchini cake, which is evil, then you should put cream cheese on it. Otherwise, I'm not going to eat zucchini bread.
Well, and our cinnamon rolls are a little bit different in the sense that we roll them so that there's many thin layers. And so then the glaze makes it, I think it adds in a little different than what your cream cheese would be. So when you tend to think of a kind of a thicker,
doughier
cinnamon roll, then you put the cream cheese on, not necessarily a glaze. And the way we do ours, being the multiple layers, the glaze is a nice added touch.
Okay,
and it's a little difference.
It's thinner layers, so it's flaky like the evil hand pie.
That's right. Oh. And you get lots of cinnamon and butter with each
layer.
Okay, maybe I will have. Maybe I can be converted. That's possible. That could be. And I had a bear claw, and this was just the one visit I was here. I mean, imagine if I'd been 2 days. The bear claw was phenomenal. And what's the cool thing you put in your bear claw?
So we make a homemade almond paste here. So it gives you that nutty, sweet kind of blend. Yeah, those are pretty good.
Filling.
That is amazing. And then I saw the brownies, and I'm like, there's no way. It looked great. I mean, it looked obnoxiously good. I thought there's no way they make these as well. And then I asked, like, oh, yeah, we make the brownies here. And I'm like, you kidding me? So then I had to eat it just, because. But you really do make the brownies.
We do, yeah, in 4 different kinds.
Do tell.
Yeah, so we have like peanut butter, salted caramel, German chocolate, or just your regular triple chocolate. So
Why do you have 4 kinds of brownies? Just
Choice.
to torment. I think they must have been sold out when I started. I've been like, I guess I need to buy all 4. It's a taste test. I owe it to my fans. It's my duty. And a lot of what I do is not gluttony; it's service for others.
Right.
Really,
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad I didn't realize. It must have been the other 3 must have been sold out. Okay, tell me those 4 flavors again.
so peanut butter, salted caramel, German chocolate, and triple chocolate.
So this is a thing. I don't know how you make it, but I've had it. A raspberry chocolate
Yep.
brownie.
We've done that too.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And have you ever done anything with hazelnuts?
No,
No.
we haven't. It's a brownie.
Yeah.
Or anything? I love
Yeah.
hazelnuts. You could do something like put hazelnut paste in your bear claw. Just mash up those hazelnuts. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how you.
like that. Yeah.
I assume you mash up almonds to make almond
do, yeah.
paste.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you brush your teeth with it at night. But just mash up some hazelnuts. I would love that. I think that'd be fantastic. And then hazelnuts are expensive, so you can charge like $4 more per one. No, I'm just kidding. What did your family say when you said, we're thinking of transitioning out of medicine eventually, and we're going to open a bakery? Because those are 2 radically different things.
Yeah, they are. So the folks who work with us love it and are supportive and get it. The family members who live in other places are like, if you wanted to retire, you should have just retired. Why are you working harder? So they're not quite grasping the joy.
Yeah, and you guys work incredibly hard. So tell me all the things that you do in a day. So you ran through the list. You have like the setup, you have the prep, you have the baking, you have to put everything out in the cases. Someone has to wash all that stuff. You have to sell it. You have to clean it. You have to put it away. And then a lot of people forget you have to go buy the ingredients.
Mhm.
Someone has to go to the quote unquote store,
Mhm.
whether it's delivered or you go get it, and someone has to fill out that order.
Mhm.
Am I right? Did I miss anything in there?
No, I mean, the biggest complaint that we get are why we aren't open more days. And you just highlighted why we're not. Because we do, it's like, we're a small crew, but we do the whole thing. So we do all the baking, all the selling, all the cleaning, all the shopping. But it's fun. It's worth it.
Yeah, and you can taste the love in the food. Also, I see bread slices. So sometimes you have bread like banana bread, and
Mhm. We've kind of switched a little more to like the banana muffins, but we'll at times make some bread loaves and slice them.
okay,
More of your
Well,
sweet breads.
okay. Like, what are some of the ones you've done in the past? And that's an occasional thing, once in a while. But what are some of
Yeah.
the ones like? Have you done lemon bread?
Mhm.
Yeah, lemon bread and of course banana bread, and we did pumpkin.
We did do the evil zucchini.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
terrible. Did you do zucchini chocolate? Because that's even worse.
I think we did. Yeah, we put
Oh,
chocolate.
because
in
then
it.
you're supposed to think,
Yeah.
if you're going to do zucchini and chocolate, instead just go all the way to the darkness and do zucchini carob. and then everybody like, oh, this is even better. Zucchini carob. Yeah, and they're
Yes.
gluten free.
Could do that too. Yep.
And then you know how to step that up, right? You do free range zucchini carob
geez.
gluten free bread.
Get it all in there.
Yeah.
And then what are your hours generally?
So we're generally open 9 to 3, and we've tried really hard to, if it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, we're here 9 to 3. Oftentimes we'll open earlier than 9 in the morning.
Because there's
So-
about the line of people,
Yeah.
and they are ready.
So that's a little secret. A lot of
If
times.
we're ready.
Yeah. As soon as everything's ready, we open the door.
And then you may close at 3, but you're still working for a
Oh,
couple hours.
yeah, for sure.
Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
yeah.
right.
People, I want people to get the perspective. Particularly baking is, it's different. It's not like you just fry up the burger and you're done. You have to a lot of pre-work for baking. Sometimes, like today's a Thursday, and you were in the back, Maxine, making the clam chowder.
Mhm.
And there's a lot that goes into if you're going to actually make clam chowder. That's probably why it tastes so good. And you have the right oyster crackers. Oh my goodness. I was so excited when I saw those. Hats off to you guys. I know it's hard to get right now because
Yeah,
we're
they're
coming
not
out of
always
COVID.
consistently available.
But where did you know to have those? Is that just something in your childhood, or?
I've always liked oyster crackers with clam chowder. So yeah, it's just a natural fit.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, I don't know, edible clam chowder on the Oregon coast. There's a lot of clam chowder that I was going to say that's not very good. And you would think it would be, but it's because it's processed and it's Cisco or whatever. So when I find really good clam chowder there and goes, I'm like, okay, yes. And you can tell because you guys make it yourself. It's absolutely phenomenal. So hats
Thank
off
you.
to you guys. And do people get a lot of to-go orders? Like they get breakfast and they take lunch to go, like to go out to the beach or something?
That's primarily what we have, are people that are coming in, to go back to their home, go to the beach, which works great because our stuff's easy to carry that way.
Get their coffee and
Yep.
their sweets and head to the beach.
And you guys love living here in
We
Rockaway
do,
Beach.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so you've got the beach, but then there's also a lake, right?
Uh-huh.
Tell me
Mhm.
about this lake.
So we actually spend a lot of time. It's Lake Lytle, just on the north side of town. It connects to another lake, which is called Crescent Lake. So between the two, you have like 100 acres of lake. So you can go out there and paddleboard, kayak, canoe. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. Out
And
there.
Fish.
And I am one of these, so I'm just being silly. Don't be offended if you are as well. But none of the darn tourists probably go out to the lake. They probably don't even know about it.
Not very many. I mean, we have some, but yeah, not very many. It's usually pretty tranquil out there.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And then you've got all the other beauty up and down the
Yeah.
coast that you can get to pretty quickly.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Is there any places, like if you go from here somewhere north or south, like I personally love Oswald West State Park.
Mhm.
I wrote an article that it's the my favorite 1 mile hike in Oregon. It's just beautiful. Although when I first moved here many years ago to Oregon and I found Oswald West, not being the sharpest knife in the door, I was so impressed with Oswald West. I was sure we would find Oswald East somewhere, not realizing it was the dude's name. It's like, oh, okay. But is there places that you personally like, to go north or south from here just for walking or hiking, or a particular beach you like? If you're not here in Rockaway?
Yeah, if we're not here, we're like you. We tend to go just to the north, Neoconi or Oswald, all that area. It's just, there's easy hikes. It's great.
Yeah, I love that hike so much because, you've got the stream alongside you. I've done it many times in a downpour, and until you get to the end, you don't get very wet because of the canopy. And then you cross that little bridge, you take and go to your, I'm spatially challenged. You go to your left to the right over the bridge, and then you can see the ocean, and then you kind of go up on a rise, and there's that bench, and then there it is, that beautiful little small cute beach. And then if it's a downpour, then you get drenched when you step out there onto that, but it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Did you take picnics down there? Have you done that?
I don't know that we've done picnics.
No, just hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on a warm day, you can get a little wagon. I have
Sure.
my little wagon right there. You fill it up with stuff, and yeah,
Go.
it's fantastic. Take your books. Well, I'm thrilled to have you on the podcast, and I absolutely love your food. I'll be back to pick up the things I didn't get, and I will have to have 4 brownies.
Yeah.
Well, I had one, so I have to have 3, but we have to have all 4 just to compare at one time. And I'm still bitter about not being able to get the Rockaway Beach wiener wrap, but I will get that, and I'm glad to know there's mustard. And I'll probably have to get the bacon cheddar biscone with gravy, and I'll probably have to get the blueberry biscone. So I'll just, won't have dinner the night before and just be ready.
Then you have to get a piece of cake with that too.
Oh,
Maxine will sell you more. Yeah.
tell me about the cake.
What we do, I mean, we make a carrot cake too that we sell most weekends, but we also do special orders, so you can have a cake. I mean,
What kind of cakes do you do special order?
Well, most of them are a 2 or 3 layer cake, and so we'll do various sizes, various flavors, frosting, and
Man,
we've
buttercream
done
frosting or sugar?
mostly a buttercream frosting.
Okay, good, because I'm not that sugar frosting. I can't. It makes my teeth hurt.
The fondant type, you mean?
Yeah.
So no, we don't. We don't do the fondant, but it's mostly buttercream. But we'll make them for birthdays or any special holiday. We've done weddings too, and so we just
Yeah. But like
or even people order special orders $100, and so we do that, and people can just let us know a minimum of a week ahead so that we can talk with them and figure out what they want, if they want cupcakes or a cake, and have that available.
I think I'm going to do a conference this year on the Oregon coast, and I can see ordering like 20 $100 a couple weeks in advance just to give them to people, just so they realize, look at this. This is incredible. Did you start to say something about
I was going to say, like last weekend, we had cake slices of a raspberry white chocolate, cake slice. So yeah.
And that was just a special.
Yeah.
And so occasionally you do these extra crazy, amazing things like that.
Yeah, most weeks we have something like
We
that.
try to have a cake most of the time, or cupcakes or something like that, so that just a little variety.
So you guys seem happy. You
We
seem
are.
fulfilled. It seems like you like each other. I can pick up on that pretty. You've met couples where they don't like each other,
True.
and if you Don't like your spouse. I don't care if you love them. Eventually, that marriage is toast. That's just how it goes. That don't end well. But you also, it seems like you like running your business, because a lot of people are in business, but they discover I don't like running a business. And then it seems like you like baking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good fit for us.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Autumn Barnett is a dear friend of mine, and she's a chapter in my first book, and she's a baker. And, she was trying to explain to me baking, and she's just like rabid, passionate about baking. And she says, you're a baker is when you're stressed, you want to roll dough. And I got this vision of her angrily rolling dough. But people that bake, they absolutely love to bake. And the thing that really comes through is that you love your customers. I was at somewhere for lunch today, which shall be renamed unnamed. And every time a new customer walked in the door, the person at the server would cuss about it and be very angry. Someone was coming in, and it was kind of amusing. I'm like, okay, whatever. And my meal was good, and I just tried to keep my head down and not get in trouble. But you can tell when someone's there, you like your customers and you're happy to see them. You've been in business where you don't feel that, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys actually do. And it's like, okay, we're thrilled we're here. And I think that's part of what makes the synergy work. So
agreed. Yeah. Hopefully people feel that way.
Oh, I'm sure they do. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been a delight to have on the podcast. And again, thanks to the good folks at Visit Rockaway Beach. You go to visitRockawayBeach.org and check out all of their stuff. And if you want to see all of the Culinary Treasure Network's Oregon Coast content, I invite you to go to adventuresontheoregoncoast.com. Hear all of our podcasts, food articles, travel articles, everything that we have there, adventuresontheoregoncoast.com. Cheers, you guys.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.